Angeline Ong, and welcome to your special look ahead to the week starting the 18th of March. In just a second, we'll be joined live by Anthony Batista from Tasty Live to take us through the US week. But let's just get through what we've got on the economic calendar. Now, it's a huge week for central banks. We'll get to that in a moment. But on Monday, we have industrial production and retail sales, first up from China. That might give us some yuan volatility there, and trade numbers from Eurozone, and also housing data out of the US. Then on Tuesday, we've got that Bank of Japan interest rate decision, a key one that because even the Bank of Japan is concerned by the upward pressures in wages right now, which to be fair hasn't been seen for some time. The RBA also on the deck for an interest rate decision. And we have the ZEW out of Germany and also the CPI out of Canada. And Wednesday, we've got producer price numbers out of Germany. Loan prime rate numbers from China might be key as well, given the state of its property market. And inflation figures and retail numbers out of the UK. And of course, that FOMC economic projections, along with that interest rate decision out of the Fed. On Thursday, we got trade balance numbers from Japan. And the key one to look out for from the central bank front will be the Bank of England interest rate decision. And last but not least, on Friday, look out for the IFO out of Germany and also a few key data points out of Japan, the CPI there, and also the Baker Hughes oil rig count. Now let's cross live now to Chicago, where Anthony Batista is standing by. Anthony, it's a huge central bank week, but I guess steady as she goes. The Fed still keeping to its wait and see stance. Meanwhile, commodities might be where the volatility is.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Pick a market and it's going higher, whether it's the U.S. equity market or commodities. Copper having a huge run the last couple of days. Gold doing the same thing. Silver, oil. Even some currencies are upticking. The bull seems to be, and the central bank seem to be, clicking all the right buttons. Volatility at lows. Right now, it's a Goldilocks scenario.
It's also triple witching time again in the US. What is this likely to do for the latter part of this session?
Yeah, excellent point. Triple witching here in the U.S. is when basically you can reset all your positions, and that can add a little bit of volatility going in the weeks to come. Not necessarily today, but the weeks to come. Today, basically, you'll get a little bit of volatility. I would expect, not really volatility, more two-sided action near the second half of the day than you would on the opening.
We're seeing a huge amount of movement on Adobe as well, even though its forecast was slightly negative in terms of its Q2 revenue. Any ideas as to where the move is coming from?
Well, it beats me. It looks like they kind of missed some of their numbers ever so slightly, but the stock is getting punished. I mean, pre-market, it was down $60, $65 on a $40 expected move. Now, here's another example where, good news is good news and bad news is good news because it hasn't affected any market that I can see.
Thanks very much. Adobe currently down 11% in the pre-market indicated, heading lower. Thanks very much about Anthony Batista there from Tasty Live, which is part of IG Group. Looking ahead to the corporate diary, it seems just as busy. On Tuesday, we've got numbers out of S3, Close Brothers, and also Wix out with full-year numbers. Wednesday, it's really Micron Technology that is the star of the session, and General Mills as well. And on Thursday, many of our clients are keen traders of Next and also Nike out with third quarter numbers. FedEx could be interesting too, given it gives us a bird's eye view into how many different industries are faring. And finally, on Friday, we have JD Wetherspoon out with first year numbers. And that's your special look ahead to the coming week, where we've got a huge number of earnings and also central banks, namely the Fed, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, and also the RBA out with interest rate decisions. I'm Angeline Ong. This is IGTV.